Tonight, the actuarial review of the Social Security arm leaves some residents and contributors concerned about their future. Plus, find out about the recent price drop at a local gas retailer. And later, the sounds of cowbells and goatskin drums as Junkanoo Summer Festival is back. More on the partnership with Rev that's helping to make it all possible. And thanks for joining us. I'm Kendino Knowles. The latest actuarial report of the National Insurance Board spurring concerns among residents as the review recommends changes in the retirement age, increasing the rate of contributions, and decreasing benefits. Our Marlena Leonard, who joins us now in studio, is on the story tonight. Marlena, what are we learning?
Well, Kendino, we spoke with some residents on the latest review of the Social Security Fund, with some saying they believe a contribution increase is necessary, while others are insisting residents can't handle an increase, given inflation. Like this massage therapist, who has some strong feelings on potential increases.
I don't think we need any increase on anything right now. I think the public has had enough increase on everything else as it relates to debt, gas, electricity, food, national insurance, no.
This after the latest actuarial report calls for a 2% increase for NIB contributions next month, with subsequent increases every other year until 2036. Some, like this business owner, feel like the increases may be necessary.
Well, if they don't, I don't think they'll be any benefits to when I get old, So
Matthew, a technology and business consultant, feels things like increasing the salary cap should be explored before raising the base rate.
I think that that at least should be considered and articulated out to say, okay, we looked at that, that's not going to cover everything. We're really going to have to look at just increasing the rate. Because obviously, 2% of $100 is a hell of a lot more impactful for those people down there than the people making $1,000, $2,000 a week.
He also says that entrepreneurs are already feeling from higher rates.
We're getting hit about 8% as an entrepreneur, so that would be a big increase for us.
Mr. Carroll, who runs a construction company, is concerned about increasing the retirement age, a sentiment shared by many.
I mean, people are going to live to, what, 70? What is it going to be, 85 next year? I think they have to do what they have to do, as far as that go. I think the age stuff is pretty harsh on people that are elderly.
And Kendino, the recommendations made in the actuarial report are just that. Recommendations. And it is ultimately up to the government to decide which pieces they choose to move forward with. But the report does say if things remain as they are, the fund could be depleted entirely by 2028. Back to you, Kendino.
All right, thanks a lot, Marlena. Our Marlena Leonard reporting for us in studio tonight. Meanwhile, as residents continue to grapple with rising inflation, Esso has dropped its price by 45 cents per gallon. This as lower global oil prices are finally taking hold in the local gas market. Jared Hayes has more details in this report.
The lower price is down to purchasers, locking in a better price as oil prices have declined globally.
Kudos to those guys that work behind the scenes to try and keep prices at a certain level.
Gas prices have soared in recent months, with Esso's previous price of $7.39 per gallon, by far the highest seen among New Providence's major retailers. Vice President of the Bahamas Petroleum Retailers Association, Vasco Bastian, says they saw a drop in sales at that price point.
Sales were down 50%. Customers weren't responding to that well, and people are now going for the best price. And hopefully this will get our customers to come back to Esso.
The increase in gas prices is due in part to the Russian invasion of Ukraine and rising inflation. Residents on the Family Islands are reeling from even higher prices in their respective communities. Nassau Guardian research revealed that the price of a gallon of gas is $9 per gallon in Mayaguana and higher than $8 on several islands, including Andros, Cat Island, Inagua, and on some Abaco Keys. Back in New Providence, customers at Bastian's Esso station on East Street and Soldier Road were grateful for the 45-cent price drop. 47-year-old Jacqueline Roll says she's happy for the chance to get more gas.
Whoever knows me, I always want to eat because I do a lot of driving, so when I get the money, that's when I could put it in.
Another customer, 35-year-old small business owner Maria Miller, was happy for the decrease, but she suggested the price is still too high.
I mean, it's good that it went down, but it ain't no big to do, but, you know, it's good that it went down.
How do you cope with these high prices these days? Gas, groceries, everything else that we have to cope with?
Yeah, basically we don't have a choice. So it's more tolerated than coping.
Prime Minister Philip Davis told reporters on Monday that he believed the key to relief for Bahamians was the removal of sanctions on Venezuela. He added that the Bahamas and other small island developing states were lobbying for the removal of those sanctions. And while Bastian is hopeful that the price stays low, he's cautious when asked what the future may hold.
My predictions in the past has been good and has been bad. At this time, I can't say exactly what it's going to be, but I just hope it stays around this same price, and hopefully it'll benefit again all of the consumers.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
All right, thanks a lot, Jared. Well, we are seeing conditions improve for the rest of the week and into the weekend. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center with your first look. Good evening, Greg.
Thanks, Kendino. Welcome everybody for our first look at weather on this Wednesday evening. Humid conditions outside our studios, temperatures in the mid-80s under partly cloudy skies. We do have a couple isolated showers and some thunderstorms west of us. The winds out of the east-southeast, a little on the breezy side, 12 miles per hour, and factoring the relative humidity, it feels like a humid 91 degrees on the outdoors. Satellite view, upper level low, that's spun across the northwest Bahamas, now moved across South Florida. Showers and thunderstorms transporting from south to north on the east side of that low, bringing some strong thunderstorms across portions of the northwest Bahamas earlier today. Most of that activity will continue to move towards the north as that low moves out of our area, and behind that high pressure will be building across area, generating some fresh breezes tonight through tomorrow. That's your first look at weather. Your extended forecast is still to come.
All right, thanks a lot, Greg. Still to come on Our News, the trend in summer travel that has airport executives excited about the travel season. Plus, find out how the mask mandate is being received by visitors. And later, Jalcanoe Summer Festival is back. It's all coming up when Our News returns. Airport arrivals and departures are trending up this summer, and airport officials are excited about what looks like a promising travel season. Our Sasha Lightbourne speaks with a senior airport official about what's ahead.
We're just excited to see people traveling again. I mean, after what has been a rough 2 years, we're just excited to see the industry moving in the right direction.
That was Director of Terminal Operations at the airport, Jonathan Hanna, who says summer travel figures are slowly but surely getting back to pre-pandemic levels. He attributes that to the United States and Bahamian governments relaxing COVID travel protocols. Travelers flying into the U.S. no longer need to test before arrival. The same goes for fully vaccinated travelers to the Bahamas.
So we certainly believe that will help us to continue to recover. We're certainly very excited about it. We're very happy to welcome visitors back to our shores again.
Speaking specifically to projections for July and August, Hannah says this.
Not quite just yet. Hopefully, as like I said, with the relaxation of these recent protocols, we're hoping that continues to spur the demand for travel. Certainly people are excited to travel again after what has been a difficult 2 years as a result of the pandemic and the harsh lockdowns. And so we certainly believe that we're trending in the right direction, and we're excited. I mean, Bahamians are excited to travel again with school being out. The relaxation of protocols, we believe that all of this augurs well for our travel numbers.
He advised those coming through Lynden Pindling International Airport to arrive early. Try to travel on the first flight, which is typically on time. Travel on slower days, such as Tuesday and Wednesday, and adhere to all the COVID-19 protocols which are in place. Reporting for Our News, I'm Sasha Lightbourne.
Meanwhile, Nassau Airport Development Company Operations Director Jonathan Hanna sharing visitors' reaction to the mask mandate that is still in force here at home.
We work collaboratively with the airlines, immigration, Bahamas Customs, and so the airlines actually make that announcement prior to departure, letting them know that while masks might not be needed, in the airport in the United States or on board the aircraft, it's needed once they land here in the Bahamas. And so, again, I think passengers are aware that rules vary from country to country, and so they're quite understanding that once they land in the Bahamas, that they have to apply with the rules and regulations that are here.
Now, the mask mandate was lifted in parts of the United States back in April. Well, Disney Cruise Lines celebrating the christening of its newest cruise ship, the Disney Wish, in Orlando, Florida today. The event is big, not just for Disney, but for the Bahamas as the destination of choice for the cruise line. Our Christina Dragovich has more as the ship sets sail today.
I christen thee, Disney Wish. May God bless this ship and all who sail upon her.
Even the rain couldn't stop the magical celebration as the Disney Wish became the 5th ship in Disney Cruise Line's fleet. The enchanting day marking a huge expansion for Disney, but also exciting opportunities for the Bahamas. Walt Disney Parks and Resorts Chairman Josh Jamaro says it's a huge step for Disney.
This ship kicks off the largest expansion in Disney Cruise Line history. And I'll tell you, our future here, it is boundless.
The Wish represents many firsts for Disney. Families can gather at the first Frozen-themed theatrical dining experience or the first Marvel dining adventure. Disney's Chief Executive Officer Bob Chapek excited to christen the ship and welcome guests to experience the Wish as it moves through the natural beauty of the Bahamas.
Every element of the Wish reflects our relentless focus on our guests and everything that they love about Disney.
All 5 of Disney's cruise ships are registered in the Bahamas. The christening cruise sets sail on a 3-day itinerary, including a visit to Disney's private island, Castaway Cay. The Cay is one of 2 Bahamian ports of call on Disney itineraries, but Damaro says that is set to grow again.
We'll be welcoming 2 more ships to our fleet and a 2nd tropical destination in the Bahamas.
As we know, that location is Lighthouse Point on Eleuthera, where Disney says it will create a number of economic opportunities for Bahamians while preserving the natural beauty of the site. The project, however, is still of great public concern to a number of locals. Reporting from the Disney Wish for our news, I'm Christina Dragovich.
When our news comes back from the break, capitalizing on sports to help the economy.
Plus, coming up in sports, balloting continues for Jazz Chisholm, and he makes his attempt to become the first Bahamian to start at a Major League Baseball All-Star game. We'll give you some details on that and Elite's journey in Florida this past weekend. And still in sports for you, Nico Bowles of his basketball camp says, you know, he's happy to have Kai Jones come by. We'll tell you all about that just ahead in sports.
And Junkanoo Summer Festival is back thanks to a partnership with Rev. We've got all the details when our news returns. This is our news. Welcome back. Bahamian baseball drawing rave reviews from an international coach. Meanwhile, a local basketball coach expressing thanks for a visit by one of our NBA players. Marcellus Hall, he's got it all, and he's up now with sports.
All right, thanks, Condino. Welcome to our sports, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. If you haven't done so by now, well, shame on you. We definitely hope that you'd have done so. But if not, it's not too late. Log on to MLB.com/vote and vote for our very own Jazz Chisholm to become the first Bahamian ever to be an All-Star. If not, why not? I always say the voting process is underway. Deadline is coming up on Friday. So far, he's in the lead, but you can vote up to 5 times a day. Let's make sure he stays there. Why not? And going from Major League Baseball players to those hoping to get there one day. Elite Baseball Academy with some players in Florida this past weekend. They had a pretty good turnout as far as that's concerned. Let's take a closer look at how things went down.
As we mentioned yesterday, Elite with a squad in Florida this past weekend. They played a series of exhibition games against a team out of Australia. Now, watching the game with great interest was former professional baseball player Cresswell Pratt, who was pretty pleased with what he saw and admonishes the kids to keep working hard. The coach of that Australian team also pleased to be able to give the Bahamas some chances at getting some good reps. He was pretty impressed with the talent he saw coming from Elite.
Yeah, very talented team from the Bahamas, very athletic guys, obviously really good program under Geron, and obviously a great history of performance as well, but just great for my guys to get out of Australia. It's winter over there. Obviously the time difference is flipped, so it's the opposite, but they're a very talented ball club with a lot of really good players. I mean, there's guys like Ian Lewis and obviously Jazz Chisholm and all these other guys have really seemed to have laid a platform for Bahamas. People are talking about it, they know about it, and you can see from the talent over here that there's a lot of talented guys.
And shifting our attention back to basketball, Kai Jones recently paying a visit to the Danico Bowles basketball camp. Head coach Danico Bowles appreciative of Kai's visit and talked about how important it was to have these youngsters be exposed to a guy like Jones.
So like I said, the kids, they are very, very excited, to get to see them in person, somebody just like them, so as long as we can use people such as Kai, such as Buddy, such as Aiden, homegrown athletes, these kids aspire to be just like these individuals, so at the end of the day, as much of these people that we can bring in to inspire and to motivate these kids, I think it definitely be beneficial for them at the end of the day.
And there is your check on sports for you here on this Wednesday. I'm Marcellus Hall. Back to you, Candino.
All right, thanks a lot, Marcellus. Well, a top financial industry professional is advocating for the promotion of sports in the country and helping build a robust and fruitful economy. Fidelity Bank and Trust CEO Gowan Bo explains the local economy has several layers, including the advancement and promotion of sports in the country, or rather what the government has dubbed sports in paradise.
We sometimes are too myopic in our thinking about tourism. If we look and think about some of the most watched events, these are the world athletic events, these are the world sporting events, whether it's football, which is the world's biggest sport, whether it's the American sports that we know, or the track and field athletics. The reality is, when we think about the Bahamas, we have sun, sand, and sea. We have the environment that is conducive to year-round athletics being done, persons being able to prepare themselves, get themselves ready for these world events. If we're talking about how do we expand the Bahamian economy, are we maximizing all of the talents that we have?
Bo, who attended the B3A's track national championships over the weekend, speaking with our news, referencing the 2017 IAAF World Relays as an example of an event that boosted the Bahamian economy in a major way.
Whilst it seemed like an investment initially, the reality was it was becoming now a mainstay in the actual athletic agenda. And so if we get ourselves back on the actual track and field schedule, I think the possibilities, I won't say are endless, but they're certainly tremendous. And from that perspective, we have to start saying, how do we take all that we have and make it a part of what we are?
And still to come on our news, Greg, he is tracking the tropics, and he's back with more on tropical activity in your extended weather forecast. Plus, the sounds of Junkanoo coming to a cultural hub near you. We'll tell you all about it, and the return of Summer Festival when our news returns. Welcome back to our news. It's time now for your extended weather forecast, and meteorologist Greg Thompson is back in the Weather Center with a look at conditions for the rest of the week. But Greg, you're also tracking the tropics.
Welcome back, everybody, and our second look at weather. We take a look at tropics. Still a little active out there. We have a couple of systems that we're continuing to monitor. One in the Gulf, southwestern Gulf of Mexico. That's actually going to be moving into Texas with some showers and some thunderstorms associated with that. The other, rather weak tropical wave, just the east of the Les Antilles and South America, bringing some showers across northern portions of South America. The National Hurricane Center is still giving that a very low chance for formation over the next couple of days. Should be moving towards west-northwest. But we are still monitoring potential tropical cyclone 2, which is still continuing to move towards the west, and it's affecting the northern coast of Venezuela. The eastern Caribbean, they got some showers and thunderstorms. They are weakening right now as those thunderstorms continue to track towards the west with this system. Over the course of the next couple of days, the system will stay westward and stay south of us. should be moving into Central America by Sunday into Monday time frame, and what's left of the system moving into the Pacific. Possible that it could make it to a tropical storm status, but it is hugging the coast of South America, so it's going to take a little while before that system tries to get developed. That system behind that we're continuing to monitor, as I mentioned, taking a more west-northwesterly track. We will continue to watch this one, but by the time it gets into the Eastern Caribbean, we expect upper level sharing actually to weaken the system, so it's possible that it's not going to fan out to anything over the next couple of days. Boating forecast for the Northwest Bahamas tonight to tomorrow. Your winds will be out of the east to southeast at 50 knot seas running 3 to 5 feet over the ocean. Your high tide will be at 9-11 tonight. For the southeast and central Bahamas, caution flag for you guys, a little stronger winds. East to southeast at 15 to 20 knots, and you notice I got a plus sign there, so those winds will be gusting higher, especially across the southeast Bahamas. Seas will be running 4 to 7 feet over the open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your 7-day forecast, much improved conditions over the remainder of what's left of the week. A couple isolated showers tomorrow, but that high pressure system will build in, and that will continue to provide some breezy conditions, spotty shower during the day, and an isolated shower at night. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, Rev and the Ministry of Tourism are partnering to usher in the return of Junkanoo Summer Festival on New Providence and the Gombe Summer Festival on Grand Bahama. After a 2-year hiatus, Bahamians can once again relish in the summer parade that is sure to be even bigger and better this year.
Junkanoo by the Beach returning this July, and it promises to be even bigger and better thanks to the corporate sponsorship by Cable Bahamas Group of Companies. Rev TV and Marketing Manager Mikhail Ferguson says that this is a years-long continuous partnership, and this year Rev is donating some $20,000 to ensure culture returns this summer.
It's so cultural, it's embedded in us. We feel the music, we feel the beat. And it's important for the Cable Bahamas Group of Companies, including Alive and Rev, to be able to support the groups, to be able to support the industry, to be able to make sure that we're able to provide a higher level of what Junkanoo has been seeing before. So we're planning on bringing technology to it. We're planning on bringing all of our products and services to Junkanoo, along with the Junkanoo Summer Festival as well, as we mentioned as well. It's going to be like the kickoff before the Junkanoo season in December, and we're super excited to be a part.
Director of Culture and Authentic Events in the Ministry of Tourism, Charity Ambrister, says they are grateful for the financial support and the Rev services that will come in kind.
So we have a rush at about 5:36, and that is with the B groups. And then at 9 o'clock, we get the A groups coming down. And so that way, visitors and Bahamians who don't want to stay out too late can enjoy the Junkanoo at Junkanoo Summer Festival.
And Brister says that this will be a major family event, complete with a kids' cultural village and unique activities for the adults.
Persons can come on out for a small fee of $25. You sip on whatever, and you paste your Junkanoo costume. And then this year, we're having a kids' cultural village, not a kiddies' corner. It's gonna be action-packed with pony rides. It's gonna be educational, where the kids will learn about our culture and heritage.
The festival happens every Saturday in July, with the exception of July 9th. The fun will run from 12 noon to midnight. Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepard.
All right, thanks a lot, Megan. Certainly exciting times ahead for Junkanooers and Junkanoo enthusiasts. Well, thank you for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Kendino Knowles. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Until then, have a wonderful evening.